Vincent Larusso was celebrating his birthday with a group of cops who really admire him. They've hired a stripper for him, but his mind is elsewhere.
It's too hot in the spotlight. I got no use for fame. And everybody tells me I'm gonna be a household name.
He has no idea. Win or lose, he's going to be swamped with people wanting to make movies, write books, do interviews, having sponsor stuff. His life may never be his own again.
Was just to live and die a cop.
Good cops play by the rules. You don't. I can't help wondering why he wanted to be a cop. My assessment? He's a bully. Too many bullies become cops so they can bully people legally. That's why it's up to the good cops to root those guys out.
Andy Campbell?
Yeah.
I'm Jessica Wolf, your new partner.
Hi.
Hi.
Andy's day just got a whole lot better. Vicky is bummed out and pissed at Ralph. Sidney Whites is questioning an expert in people's responses to combat situations. He's just explained about time slowing down, all you can see is the gun, and all that. But there's more.
Now, we've heard that the deceased was handcuffed at the time. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that he was. Would this allow you to rule out the possibility that he was holding a gun?
No, sir.
Then it's your testimony that a man with his hands manacled behind his back is physically capable of picking up an automatic weapon and firing it.
Yes, sir.
Sidney has arranged a demonstration. Miss Phelan objects, but the judge wants to see this. More important, the jury needs to see it.
Mr. O'Rourke is now approximately the same distance from the gun that Tyrone Weeks was. This court officer is approximately the same distance from Mr. O'Rourke that Vincent Larusso was from Tyrone Weeks. Gentlemen, I want both of you to go for your weapons whenever you're ready.
That was effective. The first time I watched this, it even scared me a little. I'm glad I'm not Willa Phelan because I would not want to have to cross-examine that.
Another apology. Another mealy-mouthed beg your pardon for saying what I think.
It's designed them in fences, Chief. After some of your recent statements, the black community doesn't exactly feel like their police needs are your first priority.
Osborne says they have some legitimate complaints. There's not enough police presence there, response times are slow, and we need to show them that we really do care what happens to them.
I'll show them all right. The 19th Division is doing a gang sweep on Thursday. I'm going to go along. What do you think of that?
I think people will see it for just what it is. Public relations stunt.
What's the point of going along? What's it prove? Are you going to suit up and help bust gangbangers? He says he's a doer, not a talker, but this is just another way of talking and saying nothing.
Trust me, Ozzy. This is just a trick to get these black malcontents off my back once and for all.
Wait a minute.
What?
When you look at me, what do you see?
Took him long enough. Kendrick says, you're my deputy chief and the best there is. Osborne says, first, foremost, and always, I'm a black man.
Damn it, Ozzy. You don't think I know you're black?
Yes. When you talk about getting black malcontents off your back, that's just what I think.
Hell, Ozzy, when I talk about black people, I don't mean you.
I have to wonder how either of them got through that line with a straight face.
What I mean is...
I know exactly what you mean, Chief. There are good blacks, and there are all the others.
Oh, damn it, Ozzy. You're twisting this just like the newspapers to make it sound like I'm some sort of racist.
Yeah, he is, because you are. He's determined to go on the sweep and maybe do a little glad-handing to send a message to the community.
Get me out of here. Yeah, that's right. Get me out. Go on tomorrow. You got nothing to do with that. Yeah, get on out of here.
I think they understand the message he's trying to send better than he does.
No offense, I think this is a lot of crap.
How come?
It's a waste of time and money. People ought to be able to paddle their own canoe.
Well, we can't.
Going with that attitude, he's right. It's not going to work. He won't let it. They talk a little and he insists she's in love with Andy and all the rest. Vicky keeps insisting she's faithful to him, she loves him, and her love for Andy is a whole different kind, though why she can't pull the word sibling or brother out of her head is beyond me. As I mentioned in an earlier episode, Ralph can't understand it because he's never been on the street with a partner. Throw in his insecurity about his weight, his age, and his condition, and you get a nutcase.
Sure, I love him. But it's not like he's saying nothing ever happened.
You thought about it.
Well, I think about a lot of things. So what?
I never think about other women.
That's a lie. Tell me he hasn't seen a pretty woman on TV and had an image flash through his head of the two of them in, shall we say, a compromising position. If he won't even tell the truth about such a simple thing, this marriage is doomed.
Are you sexually attracted to this man?
Okay, yes.
Finally you admit.
My feelings are my feelings, Ralph. What am I supposed to do?
How about for starters, stop telling me I'm crazy for knowing what I know. Stop telling me it's all right for you to want to go to bed with another guy just because you haven't done it yet.
I've been sexually attracted to one of my doctors before. So what? She never knew it. She was my doctor. End of story. The question is, has she been faithful to him and does she intend to continue doing so? But nothing is going to be good enough for Ralph.
Stop making me feel like all our problems are my fault when they're not.
They're not anybody's fault.
They're your fault.
Nothing happened. I never let anything happen.
Then why the hell did you lie to me? How can I ever trust you again?
Because you're my husband and I love you.
So what? So what?
He wants her to stop feeling anything for Andy, or he just wanted to be right. He doesn't know what he wants. If she's smart, she'll see a lawyer next because this guy is way gone.
Great, run.
If I don't run, I'm going to put my hands on you.
Go ahead, dude. She's a trained cop. You touch her in anger and she'll have your arm broken before either of you realizes she did it. Still, however angry I may be at him for all this, I have to respect him for seeing that he was reaching that point and choosing to walk away.
Okay. Let's get it going, folks. Okay, good news. Last week's prostitution sweep at Jackson and 5th was a huge success. The bad news is that now that the hookers have cleared out, we've got women who can't cross the street without getting hit on. So today we clean up the Johns.
How does scrubbing toilets solve the problem? One of the undercover ladies is Campo's new partner, Jessica Wolf.
Can I advertise?
Depends on how far you go. What do you have in mind?
You should stay looked away. This one might melt your eyeballs.
Hey, good looking, I got what you need. A mind for action and a body built for speed.
She goes into some lurid detail and the chorus just says, choose me.
I'm all dressed up and I got nowhere to go.
Well, am I street legal?
I think I'm gonna have to cite you for having an exposed muffler.
Don't look at me. I can't top that.
How is it you were so sure the initial reports were lies?
I knew it in my gut.
You can bet Sidney pounces on that. He starts pointing out that Hollander basically has a personal vendetta against Larusso.
You were present at a place called Rocky's Bar and Grill, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
Also present were Vincent Larusso and a man named Armand Damiano.
That's right. Detective Larusso had already been relieved of his caseload by me.
But you were aware that he was about to complete a transaction that would have resulted in the arrest of Mr. Damiano for possession and sale of some 10 kilograms worth of cocaine. Is that not a fact?
He makes Hollander go on and explain how he blew Vince's cover and let a drug dealer go free.
I have to maintain discipline, counselor.
In other words, it's more important to pull rank than to fight crime.
Well, in the case of Vincent Larusso, yes. Phelan keeps objecting to the whole line of questioning, but Sidney says he pressured 3 witnesses in this case. The fact that he has a personal grudge is very relevant. The judge has to agree. Sidney will be allowed to cross-examine Hollander's gut.
What?
I just wanted to tell you that out of all the sexual experiences I've ever had, none was as deeply erotic as being arrested by you.
Glad you had a good time, Lyle.
May I ask you one more favor?
What?
Have dinner with me tonight.
Sure, $300 up front, no touching. And afterward, I never hear from you again. And I get to order filet mignon and lobster thermidor. Oh yes, and you have to buy me a new outfit for it. And of course, I'll need a diamond tiara and a gold necklace.
I'm no criminal, and I'm no saint. Sometimes I even park in the yellow paint. But all I wanted from those nice young girls was some tenderness.
Dude, you're only a few hours from Vegas where it's legal. Plane fare costs less than this will. And in Vegas, for a little extra, they'll even arrest you if you want. Don't get any ideas. I know that because somebody else told me.
I want to apologize for the other day.
Why don't we talk about it?
I don't want to talk. I came here because my wife wanted me to. I didn't think it'd work then. I don't think it'll work now.
Ralph's attitude hasn't changed, so of course it's not going to work. If you take the wheels off the car and then try to drive it, you're not going to get very far.
Hard work. It takes real commitment. You both have to decide if you want this marriage badly enough to do it.
I have decided. I'm sorry. I want out.
What?
I can't live like this. You move out or I will or whatever you like.
Ralph.
I'm sorry.
The most amazing thing about that storyline is he did it all himself. She did absolutely nothing but continue doing what she'd been doing for their whole marriage. But one call from his doctor changed everything, and it escalated into this. It happened so smoothly and naturally we didn't even realize it was happening until we went back and looked again. That is some good writing.
Trial for his life. The charge is racial prejudice. I ask that you find him guilty.
We find the accused guilty as charged.
This is a terrifying dream. They all sing a song called Your Number's Up. It ends like this.
Ozzy!
What is it, Chief?
He explains the nightmare to Osborne, who has nothing to say in response.
You really think I'm a racist, Ozzy? Well, what I think is racism comes from fear. People are afraid of what they don't know. You don't know, Chief.
It's a powerful moment for a white man to ask a black man to his face, "Do you think I'm a racist?" and take the answer to heart. Maybe there's hope for the chief after all. Maybe he can hire that smart Jew to teach him more.
Nervous?
Yeah.
Jury could be out for a long time, Vincent. Want me to order some food?
I couldn't eat if I tried.
You want me to leave you alone?
No. There is something I want to do.
What?
I want to get you pregnant.
Hey, I was right, sort of.
Listen to me. If that jury comes in with a guilty verdict, I'm going away for a long time. I want to know I have a connection to the world outside.
Oddly enough, she agrees. Speaking of the jury, they're split and can't come to a verdict. One lady in particular is talking about the situation in her neighborhood and the kind of message they're sending to the police, which is all stuff they're not supposed to get into. But she refuses to exclude things that mean life or death to her and her children.
First degree murder, that's what we're talking about. What I got is a reasonable doubt.
Sidney pounded this into their heads in his closing argument. He stressed that they have to be absolutely sure, no doubt at all in their minds before they can convict. Somebody was listening.
What about the gun? I really can't be certain. What about the witness? Yes, who do you believe? What about the handcuffs? Sometimes appearance
And the conclusion of the matter is?
We find the defendant, Vincent Larusso, not guilty.
And rightly so. Not because he's not guilty, but because Miss Phelan had a weak case. She knew Hollander had coerced her witnesses. Two of them changed their stories, and the victim was a known cop killer. The moment she saw what Hollander brought to her, she should have put a boot in his hiney and sent him out of her office. He's the one who blew this. You'll never convince him of that, but he did. He got so obsessed with it, he crossed too many lines, and it even could have cost him his family. For that matter, he could be charged with abetting a crime when he blew that drug bust. Well, at least he knows where he can find a good lawyer.